Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. Welcome back, everyone, to the Dom Life podcast. Going to be another great episode tonight.
I'm really excited to do a full-length episode with an interview.
With an interview. So throughout our journey since June of 2024, we have produced several episodes. But what we have noticed is that one episode is far exceeding in popularity.
Yes.
Compared to all the others. And when we started to do our podcast episodes, it was mentioned to us how important it is to talk about subspace, subdrop, and aftercare. That is normally a topic that doesn't get talked about much when you discuss BDSM and the activities and stuff.
And so we immediately went to town on that one. That was our third episode.
Yep, third episode.
And it was all given from basically my perspective.
Yep. So we decided we're going to take this episode. We want to go a little bit deeper into the subspace, subdrop, and aftercare with a special guest. We have with us tonight...
A very special guest.
Yes, we have with us tonight Jade, and we have talked about her in a few of our podcast episodes.
Yes, we have.
So Jade was the one that wanted the tickle scene that Bear helped assist in.
Yes.
She was at Kinktasia, Treble and Jade, with Vegas Dave doing rope, and she was the rope bunny for that night and done an amazing job. So Miss Jade, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And again, although this episode is going to be subspace, subdrop, and aftercare, we do want to get to know you just a little bit more before we dig deep into that.
It's so exciting.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you. You know, like how long have you been in the lifestyle?
Well, I've been in the lifestyle for about 3 to 4 years now. I'm still learning. Everybody learns every day.
Yes.
You never stop learning.
Yes.
And I have met you guys probably in the beginning of my journey.
Yeah, it was probably about 3 years ago or so.
Is that crazy?
When we met. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
So you was just starting out, almost just starting out when we did meet then.
Yes.
Well, it sure don't seem like it. I mean, you was very well put together. It's not like you were brand new. You know, it seemed like you had experience under your belt. You've always been very just calm and collective and knew what you wanted and was very open with what you wanted and how you wanted it.
I love that.
You've done an amazing job since day one then.
We've had a lot of discussions about the fact that it's very hard for submissives to verbalize what they want if they're not getting exactly what they need, how to adjust it. And it is one of the areas that you have consistently shown some experience in doing, and you probably are better at it than me. I'm good only because it's my husband. Because Master Nick and I don't even have to communicate most of the time. He could tell when I look at him.
Right. But yeah, I remember probably one of the first few times that I got to top you, and the fact that you were so verbal. You told me what you wanted, where you wanted it, what instruments you wanted used,
what you didn't want
used. What you didn't want used, you know, your ground rules, your hard limits, your soft limits. You were very open with everything, and that was amazing. I've always enjoyed being able to play with you up on the cross and stuff for that reason. and then the more that we got to do it, the more I learned and the less talking you had to do. But you were still you were like, I'd be almost finished up with a scene, ready to be wrapping it up. And you'd be like, can I please have a little more flogging? Okay. Yep. Sure. We'll give you more flogging. So I absolutely love the fact that how open and communicative you are.
So we're surprised that it's only been 4 years or so, because I would have assumed that you had been in the lifestyle a little bit longer, even though you're visually very young.
Visually very young. Yes, thank you.
All right. So we know you like rope. You, again, you was at Kinktasia with Vegas Dave, and he done the demonstration of rope play with you and suspended you. You want to tell us a little bit more about your rope experience?
I do.
Okay.
It's really weird how I got started out with it, because I was mainly looking for bondage. And I saw an ad on Instagram for Vegas Dave. And I sent him a message, and he offered sessions. And I immediately was enthralled whenever he brought me up to the studio, had his A-frame, 4 suspensions, and everything was clean and put together. I'm like, this could be a journey.
Right.
And I started out with just really light, pretty harnesses and types of stuff like that. But as I kind of grew more comfortable with that, I wanted to experiment with more constrictive and more suspended, more pushing my body.
Right.
And I don't trust a whole lot of people with rope.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Absolutely.
I just have a handful of people with it. But so far, the communication is key.
Right.
And
as we say in every episode, communication is key.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's still evolving. We're still learning new things.
Right. Well, that's the good thing about, again, BDSM, not and in life generally. I mean, you find something that you're interested in, and you keep educating yourself
and exploring
and learning what you like and what you don't like. And every day is another building block that you can add to that, to every experience. Mm-hmm. How did you, so I'm curious to know, how did you start out in BDSM? How did you know that you were kinky? Or is there a backstory of when the light bulb came on that, ooh, I'm going to get into this?
Well, I am interested in all forms of impact, sensory. I love wax play.
Yeah.
Yay.
Absolutely wax play. I miss it.
Do you? When's the last time you did it? It's been a while?
It's been over 1.5 years.
Oh, no. Well, we'll have to set up another play date, Master Nick, and do some wax play. I love wax, and I love it. We did it again just recently with Christina and Loki a second time. And other people are like, what? What about us? And I'm like, we need to set up a big room play date. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I'll need to order more wax, but I can do it.
Okay, so you love wax.
Mm-hmm. As far as that, I haven't really... I just remembered something. Master Nick.
Yes.
You have a violet wand.
Yes, I do.
That has opened so many doors with me into loving and exploring more of electrical play.
Okay.
I don't know if I can really go too deep into it, but
Whatever.
I love it. I love it that much more.
Whatever you're willing to share is
we'll
perfectly
listen.
fine.
I absolutely love electrical play and the violet ones, and seeing what my body can take, what I like, what I don't like.
Right.
So what other forms of electrical play are there? Is it just with a violet wand or that kind of equipment, or is there other equipment that you've utilized?
Ooh, this is fun. Okay. What I have is, it's a little pad that connects to your hip, and it makes you electrified.
Okay.
And I believe you have one like that.
I do have one
But
of those.
his is a metal bar.
Mine's a bar that can be strapped to any part or tucked in a waistband or held.
Okay.
But this one, it won't shock you if you remove it.
Okay.
or just touch it. But anyway,
He needs one of those because he hates getting shocked.
I'm
sorry.
I love it. Doesn't bother me one bit.
But yeah, we also have these metal claws that we will use, and
I love the claws because
much
it's
more.
shocking on each of the fingers, but they also have a little sharpness. So when they're taking it across your skin, you get both sensation, the sharpness and the shocking through them.
That's right. And there's another thing that I'm not quite there yet, but it's a little bit more insertive.
Ooh, okay.
That is electrified.
So we talked a little bit about playtime that she had, and as a redhead, she ended up having a lot of issues because the electric wand attachment that was touching her down there caused a little bit of burning. So it is something to be aware of.
Yes.
Very
And with
true.
redheads, we now, Master Nick,
I've learned with if you've got any redheaded genes in you or your skin is sensitive, limit the use of the electric wand because it can produce a very similar to a sunburn.
and they put aloe on it afterwards, and it's fine within a day or two, and they come back for more. But we want people that haven't experienced it before to be aware of that.
Very true. Thank you for bringing that up.
So be aware, an extended play in other areas could cause slight burns.
Which, and again, going back to the internal wand, I would assume is what it is. Again, so with the electric wand, you are producing sparks, and sparks do heat up. And I'm wanting to think there was one time we was using the wand on you, and I was kept going over kind of the same spot over and over, and he was like, it's getting a little hot, so then we had to move. But that's also the reason why they say for metal piercings or any of that stuff, some people will say stay completely away from them. It's not that you have to avoid them, it's you limit the use to them because any spark on that metal will cause it to heat up, which can cause problems.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So you enjoy the electric, you enjoy the rope play, and we got to witness that. Are there any other areas of the lifestyle that you're involved in that you personally have experienced?
Honestly, no, but I am looking to explore more.
Okay.
Mainly it is just rope and pushing myself.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Looking more into going into predicament rope.
I know about that. We did a whole class in the rope.
Boot Camp 101.
Well, no, it was the one we did when we were at Cincinnati.
Cincinnati Grand
and
Fetish Affair.
The
Was
person,
more a sadistic rope.
and they did a lot of the predicament ones.
Yes.
They discussed it, and they showed how you can take something from being beautiful and restraining to being painful, but in a safer way.
Yes, safer.
Right. It's never safe and fully safe.
So what else do you enjoy out of your life that could be kink or fetish related? You've got a few more interests on the fetish side of things, don't you?
I do. I was the one who did have the tickle scene with Bear.
Explain why.
Yes, please. Because there's no way in hell I would do that.
I had no idea of like how to approach somebody with that. And then Bear and I just kind of got into this conversation. He says, yeah, I'll do it. I was like, really? Because I didn't know anybody who would be willing to do that to somebody.
Right.
I would be willing. I'm just saying, I try to tickle Master Nick, but he gets mad.
Yeah. There's usually a punishment or two involved with it.
Well, that's punishment for me. No, but I do want to talk about like the tickle fetish and where it came from with me personally.
Yes.
Please.
I do know that kink and fetish are two different things.
Okay.
A kink is added into sex, or it doesn't necessarily have to be sex. A fetish is you cannot climax without this specific thing being involved.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And this started whenever I was very, very, very young. I would see tickle scenes like in cartoons, and I'm like, why do I feel a weird?
Oh.
And then it kept with me because I was so afraid of it. I did not like seeing anything like that in TV or anything like that. And
Because it scared you because you didn't understand it?
absolutely.
Okay.
I didn't understand the feelings that it was brought into me.
Right.
And from what I was seeing as a young child, it wasn't consensual.
Okay.
Because like Master Nick, it wouldn't be consensual. I would tickle him, he wouldn't enjoy it. So it's the
Right.
same thing. It's usually, got it. Okay.
And whenever I got older, of course, the cartoons are fake. The scenes in TV are fake. They're acting. And then I kind of was curious, is there a certain thing about this that's a little bit more that I'm not paying attention to?
Okay.
And then here I am in the web browser looking up, why do I feel this way about tickling?
Right. Right.
And I was honestly about 17, 18 years old at that point. And something popped up and it was like, do you have a fetish? I was like, what's a fetish?
Now Google, what is a fetish?
What is a fetish? And then it just tumbled and I'm like, oh my God, this might be me.
Right.
And my husband, bless him, he actually convinced me that I did have a tickle fetish.
Okay.
Because I would ask him, like, please tickle me. I need it. Restrain my arms. He's like, okay, this is weird, but I love you.
I'm sure that everybody has had an experience where somebody's looked at them just a little bit strange and said, are you sure?
Yeah.
But I love you.
But I love you. And we're going to try it out. And it kind of evolved from there. And I am not ashamed of it.
No, there's
absolutely
absolutely no reason to be, because it's what you need.
Absolutely.
And tickling, out of all the things within the kink community, I get that's a fetish for you, but for somebody else, it might be a kink.
Right.
Might be not the same level, but to me, it's an amazing fetish.
I'm here to tell you. I mean, although I sit here and say, hell no, it's not going to happen. The night that we got to see it, I was amazed. I was blown away. It got me thinking even more then of what else is out there that I don't know about, that I want to now learn about. And it was a beautiful scene. We discussed it a little bit with Bear when he was here.
And I think we talked about it, and you had mentioned that you have fibromyalgia.
I do.
And you're in pain all the time. Physically, I know other people who have it too, and they were addicted to like pain patches because it's so brutal. She finally got off of all the medicines, but her body hurts all the time. And that, you said, I just am so happy to have something in my life that makes me feel good versus not.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm in pain right now.
Right.
But it's my constant. It's
right.
Right.
And so anytime that I can feel something that makes me feel good, whether it be an impact that I actually want done to my body, or
rope.
Or rope, or any sort of sensation. Yeah.
Those are your pain. Those are your chosen pain, not the one that your body gives you. And I understand that totally.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so that is really awesome.
Yeah. And then to find out that it really wasn't, and we discussed it with Bear's interview, and I just want to mention it here with you as well, because we mentioned to him that it seemed like you all had planned that for like weeks in advance, and he was like, oh, it was just kind of a spur of the moment. Hey, will you tickle me? Yeah, I'll tickle you.
And then he said that you guys had a lot of conversation.
Right.
Once you agreed to it, there was a lot of conversation about what it would entail.
But the way, where he was at, he didn't spend a whole lot of time there. He was mixing it up. He was giving you a little bit of time to breathe, catch your breath. and then go back into it. And just the look on your face, the smiles, the giggles, it was so freaking cute and adorable. And I absolutely loved it.
Yes. It was one of the things
blew
we've
my mind.
talked about multiple episodes without saying your name, because in the beginning it was just like, hey, we witnessed this and we didn't actually talk about who, but he's brought it up multiple times because he loved it that much. How many scenes do you see that you're like, I see so many that I can't really remember them all?
This one will always be a staple in my mind. I will always have that scene in the back of my mind, always remember it, because again, it blew my mind. Me sitting there thinking how I hate to be tickled, and this person's asking to be tickled, and it went flawlessly. The scene was great. The aftercare was given afterwards. He done an amazing job with the aftercare, and it will always be a scene that I will always remember.
And Master Nick, I'm honored that I could kind of open your mind a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think it was at that point is when I decided I want to learn more for myself, and I want to start educating other people about it as well. Because
it's not, everybody tries to say BDSM is about pain, and it's not. It doesn't
have to be.
Right.
It doesn't have to be. It can be you enjoyed it. To you, there was no physical pain, but it was pure enjoyment for you. And like you said, it's not that you're weird or you're odd or you're not normal, but other people have these same fantasies, fetishes, kinks. They have all this, but in the world that we live in, it's still uncommon for people to just openly discuss it, to talk about it.
Right.
And by communicating stuff that everybody likes, it's going to hit somebody else's mind of, I think I would like that too. And then maybe it opens the door for them to try it, to start exploring into this stuff and to find this BDSM side of things that, to me, makes your life 10 times greater.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
And we're coming in here again with some breaking, updated news.
We love the breaking news.
We want to take just a little bit of the time to talk about what we actually done this weekend.
Yes, we are very lucky that we had Jade for this interview, and the rest of it will be next week, but we wanted to break in with some hot news.
Yes,
it was hot.
We want to talk about our demonstration that we did at 4 Club Tempted for Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day.
That took place a little after 10 o'clock. We did our sensory demonstration.
Oh, it was sexy.
It was. So to give you just a little bit of a recap, holy hell, this place was packed on a Friday night. There was way more people than I was expecting to come out. I would like to think they showed up because we were putting on a demo.
But we can take some of the credit.
Yeah, I don't want to take all of it, but there was a lot of people, a lot of new people, first time visiting the club that night. There was several people there that first night, and man, did they pick a great night to come. It was packed. DJ S. Dot had the place pumping long before we even started.
Right. We had come in and we put our tables down and we set them off to the side because we need music and dancing.
Yep. We had everything set up. A lot of people came by between opening till the demo. They came by and they would look at it, and either me or you or both of us would go out and talk to them and kind of find out where they're at in BDSM. Have they ever dabbled in any of it? Have they experienced any of it? Some of them had, some of them hadn't. Some of them was very nervous and was shy about, wanting to participate. So we would go out and would talk to them and just kind of pick up a few implements and just
show them what we're going to do.
And let both of them feel it, the man and the woman. And every time that we did, each time they was like, oh my God, this feels great. Well, to make sure you're out here for our demonstration.
Right.
And it was great. So it was a good leading up to. I thought it was a great way of getting people more familiar with it. They had the opportunity to walk by, look at it, touch it, grab it, feel it.
Without us hovering.
Right.
I mean, and without it being part of the demonstration, this was just set off to the side. And a lot of people were like, well, this is interesting. I have spatulas at home.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. So it was a lot of talking, they would pick up something metal and they're like, well, could this be cooled? I'm like, absolutely. It could be put in hot water. It could be put in ice. You could really mix up the sensations. We don't have any of that tonight. We're not heating or cooling anything. Everything's just going to be room temperature.
But the metal implements are cold. Even at room temperature, the metal ones we've got are pretty cold.
They were cooler. To your skin, they are, because ambient temperature is at 98.5 degrees.
Right.
So, or 98.6
and
degrees.
Personally, the club was hot.
It was hot.
Hot.
It was
Friday.
definitely hot in there. But yeah, so the DJ S. Again, amazing job on his part leading up to it. I did take away part of his job for the 30 minutes because we did compose our playlist.
Yes, you did such a good job.
Yeah, and he was able to pay attention and watch more than what he normally would have. He was able to focus. I seen him several times, peeking over the DJ booth, looking at what all was going on. And at one time I thought he was going to come out and participate, but I guess he either changed his mind or that really wasn't what he was looking to do.
We set 2 tables up.
We had 2 tables. We originally started off with 6 chairs, but the fact so many people was there, we brought 2 more chairs out prior to starting. So we got started. It was a little after 10. They done their birthday celebrations with bringing the chairs out, people getting their lap dances on. They done the introductions. Of course, always got to do your introductions. Know who's the playmakers, who's the VIP attendants. And last but definitely not least, have to introduce the great managers of Club Tempted, John and Tanya, who was in attendance that night. And, well, we'll get into that here in a minute. But then we got started. I did a little bit of a talk. Probably not the best one I've ever done. I really didn't focus much on the speech. I usually don't focus much on the speech. I may have bullet points.
Sometimes you do have
Sometimes
bullet
I have bullet
points, and this time you didn't.
This time I shot from the hip.
And we were pretty late in the night. So it was a larger crowd. People had already been dancing. They've already kind of seen our stuff out there.
Yep.
And so you talked a little bit more than maybe you needed to.
Yep.
But you sounded great. You people chuckled and laughed at
that
your
was kind
fun
of the thing.
stuff.
I was trying to get a few laughs out of it. I think I got a few, and I was pretty well pleased with that. But then we got into the demo. The DJ hit play on our playlist. We had the 8 volunteers
sitting at the table
with blindfolds on, and we didn't have any problem getting people to come out wanting to use the implements on people. For the first 15, 20 minutes, it was 100% packed.
Some of what we did is used our friends, because people are a little bit more hesitant when they're having to pick up stuff and use it on their partner.
But the first half of it, we had enough volunteers out there. And then I think like after the 15-minute mark, we was getting less people to use the implements. And that is where having our wonderful, fantastic
amazing
group, our entourage, we would be able to point and say, hey, come out here and help us. I was trying to stand back and watch everything to make sure everybody followed the rules. Everybody was enjoying
the whole time.
And you did. I
got to play the whole time, using all those implements on both men and women.
Yes, you did. But then there towards the end, I did start after filling in. But going back to the amazing managers of Club Tempted, John and Tanya.
They haven't been able to see any of our demonstrations for any length of time when we've done them upstairs
But they got to see all of it this time. And I even caught Tanya on the dance floor, standing right behind me. She was talking to some of her friends, and I kept persuading. I was like, come on. And she was like, are you going to do it? And I was like, hell yes, I'll do it. So we got her seated with a blindfold on, and I got to spend some time doing sensual things to her with the implements, with my hands. and she was really starting to get into it. And all of a sudden it was like it clicked in her mind. Oh shit, I got to be managing. And she jumped up and she said, I will want more of this later. I'm like, hey, you name the place and time and I'll be there. But our demonstration, so we went for 30 minutes. Our music ended. We still had people that was setting. So we had to wrap everything up. And then we moved up to the Black VIP where we just kind of chilled for the next 15, 20 minutes or so.
Yes, we needed some downtime because we were getting everything off the dance floor as quickly as possible and packing it all up. And so we went upstairs.
After our short little break, we went into the dungeon where a lot of people came up. Most of them wanted to watch. There was a lot of them that really didn't want to step into the dungeon to feel anything. But they did trickle in little at a time.
We had all the stations filled again in the dungeon. So
I had the electric wand out. We had several people interested in the electric wand, which goes great for sensual play, but we didn't want to have it down on the dance floor. But it was a great night for Valentine's Day. I believe the demonstration went flawlessly. I think everybody enjoyed it.
It also got everybody's blood pumping.
Yes. And the other thing that I noticed for the people that either volunteered at first or wasn't interested in volunteering at all, they took full advantage of our playlist and they was taking up part of the dance floor on the other end and was jamming out to our...
It was fun to watch.
To our
them
ass
doing
shaking,
their bumping
and grinding music. So it was a great time. If you made it out, let us know what you thought about it. If you enjoyed it, if there's something different you want to know, let us know. We're always willing to do demonstrations.
And we have a lot of those implements, not all of them, but with us almost every time. There's different things that you get to feel sensation-wise, and we're more than willing to share that with you.
Absolutely.
The dungeon was so much fun. It was hot and sexy, and I got the purple hair girl up, and was able to do some flogging and some fun time.
Yep, it was a great time. So stick around. Next week, we get more into the interview
you
with
had Miss Jade too.
I had Miss Jade up there, left some pretty little marks on her. But next week, we back into the interview with Miss Jade. We get more into the subspace, subdrop aftercare. She gives her perspective of what all of it feels like for her. And she talks about a one-time event where she had severe subdrop and went through some emotional times.
And she talks about some symptoms, which is things that you guys need to know because my symptoms were totally different than hers.
Yep. So stick around, come back. We'll see you next week.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.